see here. Come on now. I believe in you. You can do it. Come on. Here we go. Okay. All right. How about now? Is now better? Shit. Fuck. Okay. All right. Mm, Shit. Oh, you heard it? Oh my God. It worked? Oh my God. Amazing. Okay. So that's a yes. Everyone can hear me? Okay. Thank God. All right. Yeah. So hi, everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay. Perfect. Well, sometimes that's how we make things work, I guess. Oh my God, thank God. Yeah, okay, great. So first of all, I want to apologize again for yesterday. As you can probably see, this is not New York. This is Portland. I'm visiting a chosen family member who's having an illness, and it's all just been kind of crazy, and I just crashed. So I again apologize, and if you were on the stream yesterday and I didn't show up, please. I sent out the survey for a month's free subscription to this whatever the hell it is, and please, seriously, please take me up on it. I don't like wasting people's time. I don't like it when my time is wasted. I don't like wasting your time, so I apologize. Cool. All right, well, let's get into it. Um, yeah, so the first question of the chat is the Great MAGA Crack Up graphic, and that was an Adobe stock photo. I went ahead and sprang for that a while ago. I just didn't want to run into copyright stuff, and it's weird because, like, in some ways, sometimes it's great, and then sometimes it's like really cliche. But I like that one. I'm like, whatever. It's better than like a nuclear explosion, I guess. So anyway, that was a long answer, but yeah, so let's get started. Let me pull up some questions. Hope everyone's doing okay in this day that we're arresting senators, apparently. Really absolutely horrifying shit. Every day brings a new horror. It's great. All right. So we will start with the nicest, easiest one. Very silly one. But I have been asked if I have a favorite pizza topping and how I feel about anchovies. So I recently tried anchovies on pizza. Huge fan. Really good. Was surprised. Did not think I would like them. Very good. I like a supreme. Throw it all on there. I want all of the things on my pizza. I don't want to have to decide. Just give it to me, all of it. Um, and then we can get into the one of the serious ones, which is okay, hold on. I just want to make sure this is still working. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, um, I'd say actually, you know what? I'm going to save that one for later after perhaps more people come on. Let me get the actual comments. All right. Let's see here. Okay, ooh, this is a good one. A list of things to have or take to protest. I've been to many, but they were always peaceful, something we are unlikely to get now. Water, mask, numbers on arm with Shopri. What else? Those are good. Um, Definitely, I would recommend an M95 if you can get one at least. It's a mask that doesn't look as aggressive as a respirator does, but it will provide some protection against tear gas if that happens. It'll be enough to get you out of there. It does make a difference. I I wrote a list of this. I'm going to pull up what I have. I think that earplugs are always a good idea. Keep in mind if they do flashbang people on Saturday, which they might and possibly will in various places. It's a really loud noise and a really scary flash of light, but that's all it is. That's all it is. The first time you hear like a really loud noise, it's going to be flashbang and it can't hurt you, but it can hurt your ears. So bring earplugs. Earplugs are always a good plan. Water's definitely a good plan. Snacks if you can, like just like like a little packet of nuts or something is always good. I often don't get hungry at protests until I get very hungry at protests because the adrenaline is up and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I haven't eaten in a while. And yeah. Glasses. Do not wear contact lenses. If you're a person that needs things to see, opt for glasses if you can. The thing about contact lenses fusing to your eyes and making you go blind and tear gas, that's a myth. That's not real. It will hurt like hell though, and it will be harder to wash out, and it can damage your eyes. So don't bring contacts. Also, and this isn't really a list of things to bring, but a lot of protests really are choose your own adventure, especially big ones. If you're on the front line, like if you're at the very front of the protest facing down cops or whatever, things might get hairy for you. If you're back in the crowd, if you're in the middle of the crowd, you're actually probably pretty safe. I mean, obviously, if they start gassing, if they start police rioting, that goes out the window. But for the most part, if you want a chill protest experience, which is a perfectly valid thing to want, stick to the middle of the crowd. Just, don't get too close to the cops, get to the back. The brawls will happen in that front line. If you want to be in the front line, do that too. But that's I think a good tip. The number on the arm is a good one. Getting the number of your local whatever. Although I would recommend putting it somewhere that is not immediately visible. Um, Upper arm, whatever, somewhere where like you will be able to access it if you get detained. But when police see the number, they think that it means that you're like looking to get detained, and it's just better not to attract that kind of attention if you can help it. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, look, it's it could get hairy in some places. There's no doubt about that. We are no longer where we were in April, where going to a protest is probably going to be more or less chill. That's not necessarily the case. I think it's still likely that a lot of locations will be mostly chill. Um, don't panic too hard about this. If the police are going to wild out, they will let you know first. They're not going to like charge the line without warning. That's not a thing. I mean, who the fuck knows in our world? But as far as in my experience, it is very rarely a thing that the cops are going to just like charge you. Police don't want the crowd to be big. They want to make the crowd as small as possible because they're scared. They don't want to face down a crowd of 10,000. If they could reduce that by a few thousand, they're gonna, which is why they will warn you if they're gonna wild out. Disperse. You need to disperse now. This has been declared an unlawful assembly. They'll let you know. And if you're somebody that doesn't want to deal with that, I think that is fine. Know yourself. You can nope out at that point. Just if you hear that and you don't want that kind of trouble, leave. You choose your own adventure on this. Showing up at all is huge. And I do hope that everyone will show up. I really, really hope so, because it's not what it used to be. It's not as safe as it was. There's no doubt, but this is important. This is the moment where we stand up and say no. I mean, the things that are happening are unconscionable. The arrest of that senator today, I don't know if everyone's seen that video, but it is horrific. And that's where we are now. They're deploying Marines. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So, if you can show up, I would urge you to show up. If you have asthma, if you can't get by without contacts, I have a friend who needs contacts to see. Like glasses don't work. It's got to be contacts. If you have PTSD and loud noises are going to set you off, maybe do sit this one out just to be safe. No one needs to get hurt. There are a lot of things that we can all do to resist this. There's a lot of ways that we can oppose what's happening. And if you are somebody where it would be dangerous for you to go to a protest, please don't. Please don't. We need you healthy. We need you to do other shit. So that's my answer to that question. Let's see here. I heard someone say that what we need to figure out is what the situation in Los Angeles perhaps distracting us from. Is it a diversion to hold our attention while the real traitors and insurrectionists pull off something really heinous, like finishing their destruction of the Constitution and the shredding of our civil liberties? That's a good way. I think that's a good question. I think that's a really good thing to think about. I also think that, actually, give me 1 second. I just want to make sure this stream is working. I've had so many technical difficulties. I just want to be absolutely fucking positive. Please bear with me um, on this. So, is live. Okay. Content. Sorry. And also, if you can hear me, please drop it in the chat. It's just because I've had so much. Okay, it is looking like I'm live. I hope that's true. Um, yeah, so I think Trump's wanted to do the martial law thing for years. He's talked about it, he wanted to do it in 2020. He didn't. Um, he was held back by his people, and those people are gone now. I think he regrets not sending them into Portland and other places, and I think this is partly that. Also, look, this was a really bad week for Trump. Like he got called a pedophile by the first buddy. That's bad. That's not. It's a good. Okay, thank you, Bill. Really appreciate it. It's just the trouble I've had. I'm a little bit paranoid. But yeah, so I think it's to distract from the blow up with Elon Musk. I mean, that really does. I wrote about this. It threatens to tear the party apart. That doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. Like the fact that it's a distraction doesn't by default mean that it's not important. It's very, very important. I think this is a test case. He's testing the waters to see what he can get away with. He's seeing if he can send 700 Marines into one of the world's biggest cities, and that is that going to be fine? How are the people going to react to that? That's it is. I think it is intended to be a distraction, but it is at this point. I mean, it's a real concern. Um, they are absolutely moving at this point. You've probably maybe heard that they are marshaling. They're planning to spend these special border units to 5 cities: New York, Chicago, Philly. There's 2 others that are escaping me right now, but I mean they're preparing for a crackdown, and it makes sense because the protests are finally happening. They're expanding. The country is beginning to wake up to the fact that the system is not going to work. It can't help us. And there's really is no other option. So, yeah, I guess that's a long-winded answer to that question. Um, how odd is it that Gavin Newsom's ambition might be the thing to counter Trump's ambition? It is hilarious. Oh my God, I can't believe Gruesome Gavin is like our good guy here. It's crazy to me. Like he's such an asshole. I mean, this guy a month ago was chatting with Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon on the podcast circuit. And now he's like the avatar of resistance. It's crazy. Like I saw oh yes, thank you. There's a comment. The other 2 cities are Seattle and the DC area. So, if you're in any of those cities, it could get real cool real fast. But yeah, a great post that I saw the other day was somebody who was like, "Yeah, please, Democrats, please step up. Don't make Gavin the face of the resistance. I know what his policies are. Like he's not good. That being said, he's doing the work. So I guess that's cool. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how these things work. I'm glad he's doing it, I guess. I hope other people step up too. It's getting to the point where they need to. And I hope that, I mean, Chicago's got a great mayor. New York might be about to get a great mayor. Who knows? Although that'll be a few months from now, so we'll see. But yeah, it is hysterical to me. We've got a question from Alex. Or Alexander, sorry. Do you find any effective institutional response or pushback on fairly naked betrayals of everything our country would like to stand for, likely or even possible? Um, it's not looking good. It's really depressing. I mean, people are mostly cowards. I don't like that that's true, but it is true. People are mostly afraid as just a default state, I think. And so you've got a lot of institutions that have institutional power, don't want to lose institutional power, don't want to be arrested, don't want to get sued into oblivion. And so they're not really mounting much of a response, which is incredibly depressing. So yeah, I don't know that we're going to get that. I think it'll be interesting to see where we get that. And I think that's beginning to shake out. And unfortunately, I think like a lot of mainstream media outlets are starting to go over. The Nation's doing a great job. New Republic's doing a great job. NPR, they're trying. I think their coverage is still good. Wall Street Journal, their opinion page remains garbage. It remains Satan's lair, but like they're actually doing really good reporting also, which is crazy. But that's just journalism. As far as like actual institutions, I think police are very tribal, and I suspect that most of them will cooperate, but there's also Democratic sheriffs across this country. I think it's possible they might do something. I still think that the military is a wild card, and I think we're about to find that out very quickly. I mean, there are people speaking to the press right now in the military, anonymously mostly, saying that this is unacceptable. There are people, I believe, getting more vocal who are in active duty military situations, people in high office. I mean, this is why Hegseth is attempting to actively purge military top brass because they know they know that's a real risk. And we're going to see very quickly whether that's the case. And what we might see is passive resistance. We might see active resistance. But I hold out hope that the military will resist. Gavin Newsom's doing it. I refuse to believe he's the last person who does it. I just can't live with that. But no, I think for the most part, and we've got, yeah, thank you. First of all, glad Alex is all right. And we've got, which is the whole institutional power thing, which is funny since holding on to institutional power as your institutional power is actually being suborned is a choice. It is. It's amazing. No, it's pathetic, is what it is. It's like if they're going to come after you anyway, what are you doing? It's like, look at Colombia, right? Like they bent the knee, they did everything they were asked, and they're still getting harassed because the point is punishment. It's not cooperation. It's not yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's sad. It's really sad. Um, got another comment from Bill. When your competition is Chuck Schumer, Newsom's job is easy. Jesus Christ, that is true. I don't know. Maybe if we send some more taco trucks, like maybe if we send like 10 or 12 more taco trucks to the White House, that'll resolve the problem. Here's hoping. Yeah, no, I really think we're on our own on this, honestly. The people. And I don't know, I think we're about to find out a lot. Like I think in these next couple weeks or months, people are gonna have to take sides, and we're gonna see who's brave and who isn't. And I hope that people find their balls, excuse me. But like I think also, there's been a hope that this will go away. A very misguided hope, but there has been a hope that like if we just wait it out and maintain stability and civility, and like maybe the courts will figure it out. And I think it's becoming more and more clear every day that that is exceedingly not the case, and not just like reading the tea leaves and like seeing what the administration is like and looking at the past, but like genuinely, like they arrested a fucking senator today. We are so far beyond the courts, it's ridiculous. So I think we're going to be able to find out pretty quickly what's about to happen. So yeah, bad times. All right. Go back to the NGL questions. Oh, this is my favorite question. You served, right? How hard would it be to reject orders to assist ICE? Is that even possible? Um, I know there's conscientious objector stuff that you can do. I don't know a lot about it, and I would be very surprised if that's functional right now. I would be shocked. That's certainly, I wouldn't, I don't know. Some people will probably do it, but I think the most likely ways that people will refuse to cooperate is either going to be passive resistance or top brass saying no. And I think passive resistance is more likely. It is really hard. Like saying no in the military to an order is, I mean, anyone can say no. It's just a word, right? Anyone can say the word. There are real consequences, though. I mean, you can get thrown into Fort Leavenworth for that. You can get court-martialed for that. You can get busted down in rank if you have a family. It's the same everywhere, right? It's the same incentives that are working against anybody doing what I wish they would do. Um, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is no like institutional way to say no. I again, except for conscientious objection, and I just don't see that being respected at this point in time. So I would expect that if we see anything, and I hope we will, it will be passive disobedience. It will just be soldiers not doing a very good job at doing what they're told to do. Soldiers are pretty good at that. Certainly, my unit was pretty good at that when we didn't want to do something, just kind of half-assing it. So it's not as ideal as a firm no would be. I think that if you see leaders, that's where I really have hope for like an actual resistance is top brass, because you know they're the ones that actually have some institutional power. They're the people that actually can do something. One guy saying no, they're just going to make your life hell at best. But if the top brass does, it'll be good. Bill says, I think Bella of the Ranch podcast was vaguely hinting that the non-lethal training the Marines are getting is being slow walked to delay the deployment. Ooh, that does make sense because they didn't talk about that before they arrived. That does make sense because like the military doesn't want this. I mean, look, obviously there's some people who do. There are soldiers who are MAGA. I'm sure they're very excited about what's about to happen. But like the military doesn't do this. The American military doesn't interfere with domestic affairs. And they don't want to do this mostly, I think. I mean, this is a weird thing to be asked. It feels bad. It feels very anti-American. So we'll see. Yeah. I am really curious what it's going to look like when the Marines hit the ground. I mean, the National Guard hasn't done a lot. That's not surprising. Those guys, I mean, that's these are weekend warriors. They signed up because they wanted to go to college. They signed up because they wanted to get a little bit of extra money every month, and like they didn't mind training once a month. Like these guys don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to hurt their own community. That's God, no, that's not what they signed up to do. And I think that's why you're not really seeing them deployed anywhere. You know, they're standing in front of federal buildings because they've been told to. And like you can, it's pretty easy to make someone stand in front of a building, right? But like, you know, getting them to actually like do police work, oh, it's a little harder. And I think they know, you know, certainly in Portland in 2020 when they deployed the National Guard, I mean, they were out there, but they weren't the scary ones. That would have been ICE and BORTAC and the DHS guys. Those were the scary guys. It was never the Guard. It was never the military. So, um, yeah, so possibly because of the absolute shit show of yesterday, and possibly because everything's so weird, I actually didn't get that many questions this month, and that is the end of the questions that I have. Oh, except actually, I'm lying. Bill, you sent me something, and I'm going to read it now. Hold on one second. Um, it's a good one. Let's see here. Um, Yeah, having a hard time formulating questions about our current W2F situation. That might also be a reason I didn't get very many questions this month. We will protest and hope enough people are shocked enough to make a difference. Can this regime collapse before we repeat Kent State or the Northern Ireland troubles? I hope so, but don't really have a good feelings about that. My feelings are all over the map. And honestly, I don't have a good feeling about that either. I don't see this administration collapsing anytime soon. I think that I mean they're doing a great job taking over, unfortunately. You know, they have control over the guns, except for the military at this point. And the military, as long as they can avoid outright rebellion from them, they can make do with the FBI and the DHS and most, you know, a lot of the cops in this country. That'll work. And I don't really see this collapsing anytime soon. I mean, there's the Cold War between Elon and Trump, between the budget hawks and the National Socialists and the tech bros, and all of that is very real. But I think that they're pretty well ensconced in power. This is like a power struggle inside the palace. Somebody's going to win, but it's not going to be us. So no, unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I think things are about to get really fucking bad. Um, and I will tell you the truth, and I'm not saying this is like a healthy attitude, but I'm almost relieved because this was always going to happen. This was always coming. This was the writing was on the wall. Trump was very clear about what he wanted to do. This, what is happening right now, was always going to happen. And it kind of felt for these last 4 months like it was going to happen without any kind of pushback. And now we're seeing pushback. And I don't know what a win condition is for this. I don't know if there is a win condition for this. I can't imagine what winning would look like at this point, but I do know that this is the time when decent people stand up and say, absolutely not, and see what happens. Because it's just, we can't let this happen without a fight. And I do think that fighting matters. I think not letting them just have it matters. I don't know what things are going to look like. I don't know what shape resistance is going to take when, I mean, I think we're headed to martial law. I hope I'm wrong about that. I really do. But I would suspect that we're headed to something very much like that and probably not in that long a time. And I think that at that point, the game changes significantly and it'll be really interesting to see what pops up. But I do think things will pop up. I know I have a conversation with friends often about the bravery of Americans, and I just got done saying I think everyone is like a lot of people are cowards at heart, but like I don't think Americans are any more cowardly than anyone else, and I think a lot of them, you know, you don't like being told what to do. It's kind of part of our national character is not enjoying somebody telling us what to do, and I do hope that that manifests. But I think it will manifest after horrors, and I think those horrors are soon, and that really sucks. Bill has commented the bravest guard signed up to fight forest fires. I think that's exactly right. Yeah. They didn't, nobody signed up to police their fellow citizens, their neighbors. Yeah. But that right there, that is actually the end of the questions that I received this month. Again, for a variety of reasons, some of which are definitely my fault. But I guess I want to say again, and I hope, you know, if people want to throw questions in the chat, this is a great time to do that. But I'm just going to get on the soapbox for a little bit since we're barely in this. Just that, like, look, seriously, again, if you can go tomorrow, please go. Like, don't go if you have asthma. Don't go if you can't wear glasses and you need vision correction with contacts. wins. And don't go if you have PTSD. But if you can go, even if it's just for a little while, even if you're going to nope out the minute there looks like there's some trouble, please do it. Because not only is it important to stand up and be counted right now, but like your presence, hypothetical you, as what I'm going to go ahead and just call a normal person, like a person that doesn't look the way people think of protesters as looking, somebody that's not in black bloc, which give me a second, I'll talk about that in a second. But like having somebody that looks like somebody's mom or brother or uncle or person who checks out their groceries at the grocery store, this keeps you safe because police are aware of how bad it looks when you beat up somebody who looks like they could be your mom. Like nobody wants to see that on the news. Your presence as a person who's dressed like a regular human being keeps everybody at that protest safe. So please, if you can, even if it's just for a little while, if this is concerning to you, please consider going to the protest. Please. I think a lot about, in 20 or 30 years, and I like to imagine that the world would be better by then. Is that true? I don't know. But let's pretend, right? And I imagine, somebody's going to ask, what did you do? And we're going to get asked that question. People who are here right now in this time are going to be asked what they did. And I think you'll be happy if you can say, I protested, I said no. So I really hope you'll consider that. Also, on the subject of Black Bloc and on the subject of what I'm going to call, I don't know how to, usually I'd say professional protesters kind of tongue in cheek, but I don't want to do that because that sounds like I really mean it. They're not paid protesters, but these are people, veteran protesters. Let's go with that. People with protest experience who have the equipment. They're going to, people who show up in respirators and gas masks and goggles, people who show up with their faces covered, people who show up in more militant looking gear. You know, these are also people you want around, especially at a time like this. You want people who know what it is when shit hits the fan, what it is to, how to act, how to be, how to keep a steady hand. These are the people where if you get tear gassed or you get lit up by a rubber bullet, they're the ones that are going to give you medical attention. These are the people where if you forget earplugs, they're going to give you earplugs. These are the people that will hold the line and let you get the hell away from the cops. And these are people that you want on your side. So, you know, I think it's best for this protest to be the yeah, sounding like the speech at the beginning of Patton. Yeah, I mean, this is a great time for grandstanding, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it really is literally that. And I mean, it's, I think there's more parallels between now and World War II than I'd like there to be. Like, this is actually war. And I don't mean that in the sense of kinetics. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not saying this is war as in we need to shoot people. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a war of over the soul of this country. And we're used to rhetoric like that. We've been hearing rhetoric like that for the last decade. It's been true then, but it is more literally true now than it has ever been. This is the time where we do what we have to or can, and that sucks. It's fun to see in a movie. It's not that fun in real life. This sucks. No one wants this. The people who want this don't really want this. People who think they want this, I don't think they really do, and I think they're gonna find out. But yeah, please, if you're watching this and you feel like you can go to a protest and be safe and not put your health at risk or put other people at risk, please go. Please, this one's important. There are no King's protests everywhere in this country except for DC, which I love, by the way. I don't know if everyone's heard that, but the 50501 people have canceled the protest in DC. They're having a protest everywhere but DC. There's protests in Pennsylvania, in Philly for people who are in the DC area. They basically want to take attention off of Trump's parade. And I think that's a fantastic plan for a couple of reasons. One, Trump would be especially excited to crack down on protesters at that military parade. I think that would be a real focal point for him. And two, if he decides to crack down on protests on the 14th, that takes eyeballs away from his little parade. And Trump really likes eyeballs on his little parade. So that's a great plan. I'm really impressed, honestly, by the pragmatism that I'm seeing from that movement. And honestly, I mean, on the ground in LA, the moment where the LA Sheriff's Department showed up in full riot gear, the gas masks, tear gas was starting to be deployed. They had the riot shields, sun's going down. Everybody knows, because by that time, everyone that was left was a veteran protester almost, and everyone knew what was going to happen when the sun went down. And so instead of staying there, they just turned around and walked away into the city. And that's the kind of thing that I didn't see a lot of in 2020, not enough. And the thing where like you'd back down, like it looks like backing down from a certain angle to not have a protest in DC, but it's brilliant. It's a right tactical decision. Like you don't have to engage with the opposition on their terms. Like you could always be looking to make things be on your turf, your terms, and they're doing that. And I just, it gives me a lot of hope, honestly. I feel like this protest movement has their shit together in ways that I really like seeing. We'll see if that lasts. But anyway, that was really long. I'm just kind of talking, I guess. But and the Pope counter programming, how great is that? God, I have not been paying attention to the Pope. Has he done some more stuff? Because I'm aware of him kicking kicking JD Vance on Twitter, which sustains me. It's so beautiful. Has he been doing other stuff? Um, ooh. Alexander says, I don't know if this was real, very likely not, haven't looked into it, but I did see some posts showing ads looking for seat fillers. Interesting. That's that's going to be fascinating. I'm going. I'm going to be in DC for the parade. I can't not. I'm, you know, I got into this because I study fascism. Like that's kind of how I got into whatever the hell this is. And like the fact that we're going to have a military parade like this with like there's like a strength competition in the morning. Like this is crazy shit. I wish it wasn't happening, but if it's happening, I'm so excited that I'm going to be there and I will be very curious to see how many people show up. I saw something actually, something that would indicate something similar, which is that there's like an RSVP if you want to go see the parade and be part of the festivities. And it said on their information sheet that you had to RSVP by June 10th or you wouldn't be able to get in. Well, it's the 12th, and I RSVP'd this morning, and it was fine. So I do suspect they're not exactly sold out. Um, let's see here. Oh, Bill says the Pope is leading a youth thing in Chicago, sold out White Sox Stadium and worldwide. Holy shit! Seriously, on the 14th? Oh my God! Oh my God, that's so cool. Well, there's an institution that's standing up. God damn. The fucking Pope, man. Holy shit. Yeah. Alexander says only times like these can have me having even the slightest positive feelings for a Pope. Yeah. Can't argue with this. Oh my God. Oh, that is awesome. That makes me so happy. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thing is it's not popular, you know? And by the way, on the soapbox about going to protests, like you will feel better for having gone because there is no better way to see that not everyone is okay with this than to go to a place where tens of thousands of people are also not okay with this. And that's the thing. I mean, really, truly, like people are scared, but people are also not, this is not what they want. And passive resistance goes a long way. Like, even if it comes to that, even if it really is just passive resistance, it's actually really hard to get people to do stuff. Like it's easy to get people to not do stuff. That's pretty simple. Like with force, you can force people to not do things. You can be, to not leave, to not show up, to not say anything. But it is really hard to make people do stuff. And that's where I think the Trump administration is going to have a rude awakening because they really do think that force is the answer to all problems, and it's not. Like I'm broadly skeptical of using force in a lot of situations, not because I'm a pacifist or because I think that it's bad to use force when appropriate, but because it just doesn't work that well. Like you really can't make people do stuff. So, yeah, the fact that he sold out the White Sox Stadium, the fact that, I mean, there is a No Kings protest everywhere that you are. If you look up 5051, I think it's 5051.com. Let me actually see if that's true. Um, Hold on. I'm pretty sure it is. If you search for 5051, it'll come right up. But yeah, just search for it. And you'll find a map with every protest that's scheduled. There is one near you. Wherever you live, I guarantee you can find one. It might be 20 people in your small town. Go. It'll be great. You'll meet people. Those are safe protests. Ones in small towns, I would say mostly, probably some exceptions, mostly pretty safe. The ones you got to worry about are the big cities and the ones that where Trump's got his little eye of Sauron on. So, LA is going to be probably pretty fucked up. Chicago could be pretty fucked up. New York could be pretty fucked up. But you know, yeah, I just hope people will go. So, yeah. So I guess that's if anyone has any other things they'd like me to opine about at length and just blabber on about, please throw it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably wind down. And again, just I know I keep doing it, but I am so sorry about yesterday. That's not typical of me. It's not something I hope to never do that again. And truly, if you did waste your time showing up for that AMA and then having me not show up. Please go to your email, click on that survey link, put in your email that you use for the Substack, put in your YouTube name, and please have a month free on me. It is the least I can do, and it'll make me feel better. So, yeah. Um, all right, yeah, we've got beside the one in Louisville, there is one just on the other side of the river in Indiana. They are everywhere. Yeah, no, they are. They absolutely are. Um, if you go to the 5051 website, there's yeah, like I said, there's like a big map. You can click in. The honestly, even if you're not going to go look at the map. It'll make you happy. Just the sheer volume of dots will make you happy because yeah, man, this shit isn't popular. People don't want this. Like, even the people who think they want this, like, obviously there's like the psychopaths who are just gonna jack themselves dry over the cruelty of what the Trump regime is doing. But like, it's kind of like with the abortion thing. Like, a lot more people were anti-abortion before Dobbs came down, and now that people are seeing what that means, and they're understanding that like abortion bans mean that women bleed out in parking lots, the the opinion is changing. You got a lot of red states who are voting against anti-abortion laws, and I think similar things are happening with these immigrant roundups. Like it's one thing to fantasize about deporting these violent criminals, but the truth is that that's not at all what's happening. They're just going after people who are easy to find, which happen to be the most law-abiding people you can find. And yeah, I think when people now that people are seeing like the reality of the situation, it's changing. I think it's changing. So yeah. Oh my God. Alexandra says, I believe I saw earlier there are at least 60 scheduled in Wisconsin as of today. 60 in Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin's a big state, but it's not that big. That's wild. Yeah. Look, it's weird. Like there's a lot of reasons to despair, but there's a lot of reasons to hope. People are activated. People are activated, and I will say, like, I think that one of the reasons it took us so long to get out into the streets like this is 2020. Like a lot of people, myself very much included, burned out on protest in 2020. It was heartbreaking to go hit the streets for social justice and to want trying to get a better world, and to really hope that that would happen, and then for that to have not happened. That was really heartbreaking, and also there was a lot of protest violence that really, it scarred people. It certainly made Portland a weird place. But also we have a lot of institutional knowledge because of that. We have a lot of people who went to those protests who know how to act, how to behave, who know things like that the flashbang can't hurt them, who know about writing numbers on their arm, who know what kind of mask to get, what kind of respirators to get. And that's institutional knowledge that can be quickly disseminated. We don't have to develop those tactics again. And that's awesome. Oh my God, I have a friend in Sauk City, which is tiny and in the middle of nowhere, and they're having one. Yeah, man, people don't want this shit. You got the psychos online, but people are can be cowardly, but they're also mostly good, I think. They mostly want a good life. And we're not having that right now. So, you know. We're gonna find out though. This I think this next month we're gonna find out what we're getting here. Uh and so yeah, next month when I do an AMA at the beginning of July on time, we'll know a lot more. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it there. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for watching. And please go to a protest on Saturday if you can, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. I'm gonna, I'll be writing, I'll be live tweeting and live skeeting the Washington D.C. event. That'll be fun. I'm gonna be on the radio. I'm gonna be on WBAI, which is it's a Pacifica station. They're syndicated mostly in New York, but I'll be on there periodically. So let's see what happens. It'll be a fun time. So yeah, thank you everyone. Good night. Thanks for coming, and yeah, see you on the other side.